Good morning, welcome back. Hope you're all enjoying your sunny weekends. Van build continues today. We're going to be putting a split charge through. Going to try to get the back of it tidied up, as we've been gifted lots and lots of wood from different places. So we need to obviously get that sorted. And then hopefully next week we can start to look to insulate the unit, get the solar panels on, panel the walls, and then all the fun begins. We'll catch you in a bit. So the idea, guys, of the split charge is that we can run things in the back without damaging our starting battery on the lorry, so basically we don't get stuck. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be fitting it from a 24-volt system. We're going to be running it along the underside of the lorry. We're going to come up through the floor, and we're going to have all the control units in the back ready to be fitted when we panel it out up to a certain point. We're going to have, eventually, we're hoping to have 3 batteries in there, be about 600 amp hours each. We're looking to have the 500 watt solar panel fitted on the top of the lorry very soon, and we're also hoping to have it so that we can hook up on a main somewhere should we need additional help to charge the batteries. We're going completely electric on this lorry. There's no gas in it whatsoever. The only fuel we will have other than the electric will be diesel for a diesel heater, which will run on 12 volts. So during the build we'll have to step from 24 volts down to 12 volts, but we'll show you how we're doing that when we get to that point. We will have a log burner for winter time for heat, which theoretically you can boil your kettle on, you can do certain things, stuff like that. But just for now, we are hoping to get a split charge set up in, which will then power obviously our inverter, which we have a 4,000 watt max 6,000 peak inverter to go in that works on the 24 volt system. We will be very basic in the sense of the setup that we have, but we should hopefully be able to run for quite a big period off grid without any additional help or being hooked up to a mains feed. So with a little bit of luck, stay tuned, keep watching, and you'll see how we get this all done. Catch you in a minute. So what we've got with this system is a voltage relay, which is 180 amps on the peak and a continuous of 100 amps as it's running. The idea of this system is that we wire this up, starting with our main batteries, which are underneath the vehicle, and we will show you those as we get there. We run the cable in along the underside of the lorry, and we are going to come up through the floor somewhere around here, because this back corner unit, as you can see, this will be where all our control panels are for everything, for the solar panels, the relays, for the split charge. It will be where we have the leisure batteries. We will also have the switch to flip between hookup, solar panel, or split charge for charging. So all of the controls for the electric will be down here in this corner. So the first thing we've got to do is we've got to find the batteries, which are in the box under here, and we've got to open it up and make them available for us to get to the terminal. We found the batteries, we've opened the cover. Seems to be a little bit of battery acid that is spilt on the top, but for now that will be fine. We'll carry on and we will have a look at obviously replacing these batteries at some point in the future, but for now they're okay. So what we need to do is we need to start with the wiring coming from here. We will have one positive leaving here, and it will head up along the underside here, right the way through, over the wheel arch, and it will come out somewhere over here, and then it will go up through the floor somewhere about here. So the first thing we're doing is we're going to undo these screws in order to clamp on the terminal for the split charge. So we take this first screw out and we're going to run this clamp in here like that, and then we're going to put the screw back to give ourselves a nice tight fitment. We will leave that disconnected for now, solely because we need to run this cable up here and through, and then we need to fit a fuse box, one of these fuse boxes, onto the end of it to make sure that obviously if there's any issues the fuse will blow as opposed to the system inside and cause bigger issues. So first of all we're going to run this up into here somehow. So we're going to clip it onto these cables here. What we're going to do, just to get it out of the battery box. Right, and then we're going to run it down to this one, and we're going to clamp it onto here, onto the actual chassis of the lorry. Right, and then I'm going to feed the rest of this cable till we get to this end, down to the bottom of the lorry, and start adding the fuse boards in. We'll catch you in a moment. So, we've got the first part of the wiring run through. Wasn't quite as easy as I thought it was going to be, so I will show you that in a second. So as you can see, it joins the batteries there, runs along the chassis there, right the way through, keeps going, and it gets to here and it goes just behind the wheel arch. So I need to fit the fuse board in a minute and then mount that to see where that goes, which hopefully should come out somewhere around here, easily accessible then for any future issues. We will try, I think, to mount the fuse board up here on this part of the body so that it's very easy to get to in the future. Then we've got a little bit more to go, and then we can come up through the floor somewhere around about here, which will be nice. So these are the fuse boxes we have, the inline fuses. So the idea of this is that you mount this to the body with the cable coming to this one and a cable leaving on this port, and then these obviously screw in. They're a 60 amp fuse, so the idea of that is that it should blow if there is an issue within the system, therefore not damaging your appliances or batteries or anything you're charging off the ports at the time. Obviously this is only the split charge, so there is nothing other than batteries coming from this, but we still don't want to damage our batteries. So we need to get underneath, have a look at what we need to do, as in where to drill the holes, because we need to drill these holes here to mount it. Then we need to attach the cable, then we need to run the other cables. What we will do as we continue to put the fuses in for the split charge is this one we won't connect, because this will be the first one. So until we get our leisure batteries, which obviously we haven't bought just yet, we will fit the rest of the wiring, but to stop it becoming live, we won't fit this fuse until the batteries are in. Right, so the fuse box is in. We've changed the place of it. Reason being is I was thinking about where it was, and unfortunately it was going to go into a channel, and I'm afraid that if water and mud gets in there, it will congress and ruin the fuse board. I'll show you where I've put it. Hopefully this should make it last a lot better, should save it getting wet, because it's on the underside of the floor now, facing down. so there shouldn't be much water or mud going up into there. So this is where it's to. So it will come, as you can see, hopefully travels all the way along. I know we still have some slack in it. I've yet to take that out, but it will come from here and it will continue to travel along here all the way through, and it will come up somewhere around here. I'm not too sure where to yet, but we will find out. So we need to make a lead up here in order to continue going from that inline fuse up into the lorry. There are some other shorter lengths that come with the split charge kit, but because it's outside, I don't really, if I can help it, have too many different setups of inline fuses, because what I don't want to do is I don't want it to obviously get too much water in there, and I want it to have as few fuses as possible, if I'm completely honest. So what we're doing is we're making up a lead to continue through. So what I'm having to do is make a lead long enough to go from that inline fuse into the body of the lorry. There are additional short leads already pre-made, which obviously would be much better, like these ones, but there's a lot of them, and what I don't want is to have too many inline fuses outside of the body. So by making a lead to go inside from that fuse box, that will be long enough that will then reduce the chances of water blowing the fuses as well, because like I said, where I've put that inline fuse, it's underneath the body. I'm hoping that no water gets into there. With a little bit of luck, we should be good. If not, it can always be moved, but I need to strip this cable, I need to fit the ends, I need to shrink wrap some pallet paper, some plastic sleeving on, but unfortunately I don't have a lighter or any heat source for me, so I will get this on and then I will have to do that when I return at a later date. So we've got the cable now running from the fuse box, coming on the underside of the chassis on the edge, coming through, and we're about to put a hole up in the floor roughly about here, ready for the cable to go inside the truck. As you can see, the hole is in. We now need to go up into the lorry and try and pull the cable through once we've fed it up into there. The cable's in. We now need to put it through and then look to where to mount the stuff on the end of it, ready for obviously the boarding and things to go in, and the control panel for it. We are done now for the day. We're just going to clean up, pack up, put everything away, and we will catch you on the next build. We can't go any further until we start the installation now. We'll catch you in a bit.